happen with Gambit after this? Who knows? We're going to find out soon because we are into the bans and the picks. Kayle banned out here against Overpower. We mentioned it in the last game as Alex Itch picked the Kayle as well. Yasuo taken out as well. They don't want anything to do with that. Thresh coming to be banned by Alliance, and Annie banned out as well. So a couple of support bans here.
Very standard bans though. Kazanin going away as well now. We know Overpower loves to play it. Again, it's a one where he can go out and try and pick some kills in the side lanes. So smart ban from Alliance.
Now, what is the final ban going to be here for Roccat? As we've said, we've seen a couple of Gragas performances in there. LeBlanc from Froggen wasn't bad at all. But is it a ban that you're really going for there? Elise, this is what we thought about. Aim it at Shook, get rid of that Elise, which is so terrifying on. Now I'm interested to see what Alliance prioritize, because you said earlier they've been prioritizing the likes of Malphite, which you don't think is worth it at that stage of the game.
I like this pickup though if you do go with the Shyvana. She's been so dominant in the games we have watched. The only real, I wouldn't even call it the counter, but the strong pick versus it is Dr. Mundo when you come to the late game and you can try and, you know, be more tanky than her. But just the whole pressure you can put out with Shyvana throughout the entire game, you force people to come up and try and stop you. It's going to be interesting to see though what Roccat wants to do versus this. They could potentially go for Malphite and just try and force team fights and let Shyvana do whatever she wants.
Well, they did play that Malphite in the top lane against Super Hot Crew. They Renekton they had in there against Millennium. And, of course, we saw the Shyvana for Xaxus in the last game. Not going to have it this time, though, because that's already over with Alliance. But they seem to be taking quite a while. And you can see the discussion there, actually. It means that something's happened in this ban phase that they weren't planning on.
I think Roccat was expecting Alliance to maybe first pick Lee Sin. Now that Lee was banned away, we know Shook loves to play Lee Sin, and that way they can pick up the Shyvana and take the Caitlyn they always love to play with. The reason they love Caitlyn so much is because she can stand in the mid lane and just wave clear, wave clear, wave clear while you push the side lanes, and that way you can constantly put pressure.
Did they not mean to pick Lee Sin there?
I don't think they actually wanted to pick Lee Sin.
Oh.
Nonetheless, it's a pretty smart pick, and they take it away from Shook.
Yeah, take it away from Shook. Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst of things that could have happened, I suppose, overall. We are going to be seeing what looks like Jinx Leona lane possibly here for Alliance.
Very strong lane, especially at level 6. You have so much burst damage to bring. And Jinx, she's been very contested, and she's been so strong throughout the entire Super Week. This is a great pickup for Alliance. 3 of the strongest champions in the current meta already.
That's great news for them. On the other side, Morgana. I'm just trying to get away from the shyness. That is locked in, so Morgana is already locked in. Sion, I'm not buying that one.
Now, Morgana is obviously to try and help Caitlyn or whoever Leona tries to engage on, not being stunned. But I'm a bit surprised it just comes in as more or less a blind pick, because this gives Froggen a lot of opportunities to pick pretty much whatever he wants in this situation. If Riven is open, he might want to pick that versus Morgana, or he could go for something more safe like a Gragas.
It also allows them, I suppose, to play that Morgana in the middle if the pick that Wicked goes for actually is suited more to that, and then take a different support. Mundo has come through to the 4th pick on the red side in this one. Not something that we're highly used to be honest. Usually a little bit earlier contested, but it was pretty obvious it was going to be Shyvana and Mundo, right?
Pretty obvious. I mean, it could have been a Renekton to try and shut down the Shyvana early, but Mundo is the normal pick versus Shyvana. I could expect them to see Mundo, they want Mundo to try and hold Shyvana in the top lane, and meanwhile they push down in the mid lane, and they can always put the shield on Caitlyn and she can hit the tower without actually getting engaged on. I'm not sure if that is the plan, but it would make sense.
No, for Alliance, final 2 picks, they need a jungler and a mid laner. We're saying a jungler, we're just considering the fact that Wicked surely will be taking that Shyvana top lane with Mundo coming in there as well. And the Vi was played in game number 1 of the LCS for Alliance, where they lost out to the Copenhagen Wolves. And a 1-2-6 performance from Shook actually in that game. It would be the first time that we've seen Ziggs for Froggen though, this split.
Yeah, first time we see 6, but it's a very smart pickup versus a team who loves pressure your turrets and pressure all your lanes. 6 will wave clear in the mid lane, and he can also throw his bomb to the side lanes and therefore stop all kind of push. Very smart pickup for Alliance, and they might actually have figured out Rocket's tactic.
So what now? If you were to pick in this scenario, final pick, you're going to be playing up against the Ziggs in that mid lane, where are you going to put your money?
Well, they already have quite a lot of counter engage with both the...
No, not there.
Could have been... I mean, I will probably go for Lulu right here. There's not much else for him to pick. He has played it before. It goes well with Caitlyn, and it's very good versus Vi if she decides to engage on you.
So have that Morgana in the mid lane and not as a support.
It could actually be. Oh wow, Joe, you're a smart man.
I am. Thank you very much. It's been said a few times, not by many people though, I have to add. And it is actually going to be Gragas in the end to go into that mid lane and a Morgana support.
I actually hate myself right now for not figuring out the Morgana support, because when Enready locked in the Galio a few games ago, I said to myself, that's going to be support because he blind picks it. Why didn't I say the same with this Morgana?
I did try and lead you into it earlier when I said they can move it to the mid lane if they don't want it support, depending on what Froggen picks, but we can let you off. It's a super week and you've done a great job up until now, so I'll let you off on that one.
Right, so Leona tries to engage on Caitlyn in the lane. Black Shield on Caitlyn, you cannot stun her, you cannot lock her down. Caitlyn will be able to farm safely. At level 6 though, Leona goes in, you use your ultimate with Morgana, and there's no way out for Leona. I can see this combo work, and it's great for Lee Sin to come down and gank as well, especially when Morgana is level 6.
What if they fall behind in that lane though? Is there any consequences for it? I mean, Caitlyn's always going to have that safety of the range.
That's the thing. I mean, Caitlyn will always be able to farm, because whenever she goes in range of Leona, there's the Black Shield from Morgana to help her. So she can farm fairly, quite safe. But if Shook comes down for some early 3v3 fights, Morgana is very weak before she hits level 6.
Well, guys, we're going to check out what you at home are thinking about this game. Look how those votes have tallied up, and actually a real close one this time around. 54% of you thinking that Alliance are going to secure their first victory, and that is, Alliance coming into this as the super team, and obviously getting a lot of fans in from different directions, obviously a lot from Evil Geniuses and what have you. That's not the kind of number that you'd expect usually.
I expected it to be way more to the Alliance side. I'm actually very happy to see people supporting and already believing in Roccat. I personally think it's, again, I'm not going to say the easy one 50-50. I would like to give this to Roccat 55-45, just because I think Roccat is playing better right now.
5%. It's not a huge amount, but it's 5% going for Roccat in this one. We are going to jump into game, guys. It's our final game of Super Week as Alliance take on Roccat. Alliance looking for their first victory of the season. Roccat, on the other hand, looking to go 3-1 and finish in second place, tied with Gambit after 1 week.
And notice the starting item on Vander on Morgana. He went for Dorian's Ring. I'm expecting actually he's going to try to just land the long-range Qs, and then if he manages to land them, he can force Alliance back and then try and zone them out.
So what are we going to see at level 1? We've not seen much action, to be honest, throughout the 16 games, or the 15, I should really say, before this one. This is the 16th of our Super Week.
We could potentially see Roccat try and engage. They do have Morgana. You can throw, your binding into a bush, and if you hit someone, you can try and go for the kill. Right now, though, we see the exact same level 1 as always.
Overpower actually catching a couple of bombs there. He's just going to have a dance in middle. Froggen not going to be caught out by that one. Really interested to see this lane, because Froggen, an old favourite of everyone in that middle lane. Brilliant farmer, highly skilled player. Overpower, he's been around for as long as Froggen, but not really on the radar for most people.
No, we didn't see too much to him before. He was known as pretty much a Kassadin-only player at some point, but right now he really stepped up his game, and he's one of the, the top mids in Europe. He will have a hard time versus 6 though in the early game, because 6 can punish him every time he tries to go for a CS, and forces him to CS only with his barrel roll.
Well, you see the 130 mark coming down, and that means the trinkets burst into life and the wards come down for the first time of the game. We can see actually that Roccat are looking to make a lane swap here and go 2-1 in the top lane.
Now, if Shook actually decided to go top to try and help Wicked out and force a kill, he's going to have quite an easy time. Morgana won't be able to do much to him other than try and bind him. If she misses, she won't be able to do anything in the first few levels. So I could potentially see Shook trying to go up and help Wicked farm, but I'm guessing Alliance didn't exactly expect this swap.
No, it doesn't look like it, does it? Wicked kind of walked down there, seeing those two men up in the top lane, he's like, oh wow, I'm going to have to walk all the way around here just to make sure that I'm actually safe. Vander, as expected, will just be playing the brush, playing the zoning game here onto Wicked to keep him as low as possible.
At the same time, the bot lane from Alliance expected Silvar and Vander to be down there, so they instantly pushed the wave, which means that Sasus actually managed to pick up the XP down there, and he's going to get even more now when this wave hits in.
And we can see there, you were talking about this already, that Overpower might struggle against Froggen, or will struggle against Froggen. He's already down to less than half HP, and with those ranged abilities that he can throw out constantly there, and his auto-attack, let's not forget, it is going to be a hard time for Overpower right at the very start, and there we see it again. Constant harassment from Froggen.
There's nothing Overpower can do at this point. He needs his level 6, where he has the option to shoot Froggen back, and then Jankos can come in and they can pick up a kill. Before level 6 though, Froggen is very safe.
Speaking of Jankos, he's headed towards his top lane. Wicked actually did put a ward down there. His trinket put to good use, and that will actually spot the Lee Sin coming in, and that means that gank is not going to work out for him. But it looks like Wicked's going to actually try and come around here and steal white, but Jankos, well, he's got the smite, and actually he's going to go in here on towards Wicked. He's level 3 to the level 2 of Wicked, and Wicked may just decide to have to flash away from that one. Meanwhile, Alliance, they're going in, they've dove onto this bottom lane. Xaxus is dead here. That's going to be first blood coming into Alliance, and for Shook, they should be able to finish off the tower if they want as well.
They can take the tower. They can actually also go for an early dragon, because Froggen can go down and help them. They knew that Jankos was top, so this was a safe dive for them, and they did it perfectly. Great start from Alliance.
Well, that turret is done with. Roccat, a little bit slower to get this one down. That's because Jinx is just stripping through the towers anyway. The damage pretty damn high. Tab's just waiting in there to get the last hit on that one. Why not? And in the top side, exactly the same is going to be happening here. And obviously getting rid of that farm as well that was coming through a big thing. As a Zenith play not quite landing for Nif.
Good move by Overpower though. He knows Alliance wanted to start the dragon. He goes down, shows himself, and tries to make them hesitate. They actually started anyway.
Yeah, starting that one off. 4 minutes 45 into the game. We've become used to dragons being a lot later on, to be honest. And this time around, they decided they can't get in there. There was the ward and the jump to by Jankos, but he couldn't quite get in there and lock Froggen up. Satchel charge got him out.
Great play right here by Roccat. They go down, show them, and stop the dragon from Alliance. Otherwise, Alliance could have picked up a fairly safe dragon by themselves. Now, Sasus will return to the top lane at some point, and he's going to be very far behind in XP because Wicked is slowly pushing it up, and Roccat didn't push it all the way out when they actually took the turret.
Yeah, and using, well, we saw Tabs basically making sure that all those minions died earlier onto that turret just before they actually finished it off at the last possible moment. But funny thing here, Roccat, after Alliance started off Dragon and said, you know what, that's not a bad idea, we're going to have a go at that.
And Alliance is just going to let Roccat have this one. They know they can't do anything, but they don't actually mind too much because Wicked is going to get so far ahead compared to Sasus at this point.
And Selva just trying to keep Nif out of range from that one. Froggen is not quite level 6 yet, so there's no bomb to be thrown in there. Doesn't matter though, the Dragon is picked up by Roccat. And that brings the gold to bang even.
Bang even on gold, but it was great move from this lane swap by Alliance. The way they actually managed to get all the minions to die before they finish off the turret meant they are now in a perfect position.
So 2v2 down in the bottom lane, or briefly 3 there, as we did see Shook coming down with Vi, but they were stood on top of a ward inside of that tribush, so wasn't really able to do much. We can see now, just to touch on the items again, both supports going into gold items, but a different choice between them.
Yeah, it looks like Vander wants to go for the talisman, so he's not relying 100% on his flash to engage. He wants to be able to pop his talisman and then get in range for his ulti and try and lock down a target. Interesting enough though, if you look to the mid lane, they should be hitting level 6 fairly soon. Actually right now, Overpower hit level 6, and now it becomes scary for Froggen, if Jankos is close by.
If Jankos is anywhere near. Right now Jankos is actually coming down that mid lane, and Froggen, look at that, put a ward there as deep as he could really risk it in that scenario to try and get any early eyes onto Jankos if he was to come around. They spotted that ward, and wisely Jankos going around the other side, but he's going to be spotted by 2 wards of their own.
Now Jankos doesn't think there's a ward on the side, or at least he has no idea if there is. They saw the ward on the other side, they might think this is only what Froggen has, and that's why he's coming from this side.
Well, he went into that brush and he says, wow, there's a pink ward. 5 hits and you're down. Thank you very much. That'll be fine for me. Just in time, actually, for the blue buff to spawn in, and that will be going over towards Overpower with a little bit of help from Ziggs along the way.
Yeah, good guy Frog and helping on the blue buff. He did hit Jankos though. Oh, he did actually pick up. I didn't see he put in the barrel. I was about to say, why did he give it to Lee Sin? But he didn't.
And in this top lane, Shyvana versus Munda. Shyvana versus Munda. Shyvana versus Mundo is actually what they are in that top lane. And again, we can see Wicked just pushing that one all the way up. Trying to look at level difference there. Actually, Wicked does have that advantage from earlier on still.
Wicked is far ahead right now. He's going to recall. He has a lot of gold in the backs. He can come back. Actually, he's going to stay. He might go for the kill on this one.
This could be very interesting. At level 6, Zaz's not got that incredible regen that his ultimate is going to bring him. And there is the Dragon. Wicked is going all in on this one. He's got his Ignite as well, but he decides not to use it.
I think we could possibly have picked up the kill right here. He had Ignite. He just needed 1 more or 2 more auto attacks and then Ignite. He decided to play it safe though. He don't want to give away his advantage at this point. Yeah,
that would be pretty disastrous, I think, for him, considering how well he's done up until now. The bottom lane actually forced quite far up, just past the what was the location of the outer turret for Roccat earlier on in the game. And right now they're trying to do something about Wicked in there. They're going to send Jankos up to help out Zazas at top.
Now, there is no tower for Wicked, so there's a long way down for him to safety. But he could actually be able to fight this one due to Zazas not being level 6 yet.
And Wicked's ultimate is back up here, so we'll see about that one.
There should be a bug though.
Yeah, I was just going to say, yeah. I started saying it and then I thought, not sure about that. But Jankos is still waiting in there. Mundo, has he hit level 6 now? That's what they're waiting for Zazas to hit that level 6 mark. There he goes. Zazas now level 6. They're going in on the middle lane as well. And it's actually Shook that's taken a lot of damage. Nif, though, is going to be helping out. It's Tabs that picks up the kill.
Great rotation from Alliance right here. Wicked, if he manages to wipe this one, it's so good for Alliance.
Great flash, but is he going to be able to get away from Jankos? The ward comes in, but the minions blocking it. It's all going to be about this Q. Wow, flashes in, point blank, making it very easy. And that will be 2 for 1 in favor of Alliance. They should have this turret in the mid lane as well.
But Alliance is playing the map so well right now. They pushed out the bot lane, and instantly everyone went to the mid lane, took down a kill on Overpower, and took the mid tower. Alliance is playing really well right now, and this is what we need to see from them.
Well, let's see how they go forward in this game. Still early stages of it, that's for sure. If you look down the CS, 72 to 68 between the AD carries. Pretty even on that front. The gold obviously in favor of Tabs right now because he does have that 1-0-1 scoreline. In the mid lane, Froggen, again, expected here. Leading the farm against Overpower on Gragas.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much every lane from Alliance is doing really well, especially Wicked. We touched about the fact that he could slow push the wave all the way up because Roccat didn't push it all the way into his second turret, so the lane never reset. Now, if you look at the bot lane though, Silver is slightly ahead, but that's simply due to Tabs rotating mid and taking a tower for his team. Next Dragon is about 1 minute. Will we see a fight for it?
Well, it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. 2 for 1, not quite as high scoring as our last game, but still a very, very interesting game to watch up until now. There's a 1200 gold lead for Alliance. And we see that Tabs keeping this lane pretty much frozen down on the bottom side, and Nif just using that relic shield as well.
Now, we see Vander actually investing in quite a lot of wards. He could potentially go down, ward around the dragon, and then try and set Roccat in a good position to start a fight. If he can land his binding out of vision from Alliance, they can engage on it with both the Sin and Overpower.
So, Dragon coming up in half a minute. And they start to gather a little bit more around that bottom side. Zazas, of course, does have a teleport, something that's not there for Wicked. So that'll be interesting to see whether they send Mundo actually down there, whether Wicked will try and stop him by using his ultimate to get in. We can see pink wards are already in from Roccat, and Chuck is saying, no, this is my jungle. I'm going to take you out and your pink ward, so get out of here.
Now, Alliance, look at Wicked right now. He's moving down for the dragon. They know it's up right now, and they want to fight for it or at least secure it.
It's going to take a while until he gets there. Meantime, though, they're trying to keep a hold on position of that area. Ultimate actually whiffed there by Nif. Jankos taking a decent amount of damage from the side there from Tabs. But now that they've got Celiver coming in as well, this could turn into a messy fight.
Now, Dr. Mundo has to TP in the middle of everything if he wants to join this fight. And he's very squishy at this point.
Still squishy, but he is going to be teleporting into that death bush. Look there at the dragon. It's pretty low, and Alliance surely going to finish this one off. Yes, they do. They pick that one up. Tab's actually going to be the focus from this. Wicked right in the middle as well. Zazas now trying to get around the side, and they've killed off Tabs. I'm not sure what Tabs was doing over there again. And Shook, he took the ultimate there. Jankos is actually just walking away from the fight. Overpower just trying to chase down Froggen at the backside as well. Gets slowed by the mines, but he belly slams through the wall. Shook comes through there with him. Oh, but the barrel is going to kill Overpower. He dies in the end, but did well to pick up the kill. In the end, that was 3 for 1.
And Tabs was completely out of position this fight. Had he had a better position, Roccat wouldn't be able to take him down so early, and it would have been a completely different fight. Big mistake by Tabs right here.
And we said that a couple of times already when we look back at the replays as, where is Tabs? Why is Tabs in the middle of the team? Why is Tabs flashing in? And look at his position here. He's got Mundo stuck to him, but the flash over the wall was bizarre.
Yeah, he actually had flash earlier as well. So he could have flashed into, closer to Nif and try to get out that way, but instead he decides to more or less waste his flash when he's actually already dead. Overpower though, doing what Overpower does, he loves to chase for these kills, and he does it every single time.
Yeah, doing really well there. I thought he actually might end up going down before he secured the kill, but I'm wrong on that one. The barrel sliding straight out. It leaves us at 4-3. Alliance, though, still holding the gold lead. Let's not forget they did take down the dragon there before that fight broke out. Looks like they might lose their blue buff, though.
Roccat has a very scary jungle fight team, though. Morgana, if she's able to hit more people with her ultimate, they have so much CC to bring at him. See a fight.
Yeah, there is the blue buff actually smited out by Jankos. Are they going to fight for it? You see them waiting back. Overpower just trying to zone everyone on the bottom side by the Wolves.
Alliance actually decides to back out, mainly because Tabs was down in the bot lane, farming up. He's gotten ahead in CS right now compared to Silver, but the last fight has made it very even in gold.
Oh, Alliance headed down to the bottom side and maybe thinking about going for the enemy blue buff at this point, although because he was smited down by Jankos, you'd expect that Overpower will be headed in there to pick that one up for himself.
We have to keep talking about Wicked though. He's doing absolutely amazing right now. We saw Shyvana in the last game, how big of an issue she was. Wicked will be the same. He's going for the Blade of the Rune King as his first item, which means he will be able to duel anyone they send up against him.
Yeah, 0 for 2, which obviously not ideal for him, but he's really racking up that CS, almost double that of Zazas here, and almost the 15-minute point of the game as Nif starts to work his way in. There's the shield, the binding actually landing onto him, the barrel going to pull him back somewhat. He actually puts his ulti down, which will stop Vander chasing in. And Nif does manage to escape, and he actually baited out quite a lot there from Roccat.
And look how tanky Nif is already at this point. They used 2 ultimates, and also, was it Jankos there to hit him, and they couldn't even take him down. Nif is very tanky, and this actually means for Roccat that the next minute while they're waiting for the cooldowns, they can't really do anything.
Can't go in for the fight. It gives a bit of time to look at the items, though. Both AD carries actually got the Bloodthirster in there. Double Doran's Blade actually for Jinx. That's for Tabs, of course. And now Alliance actually chasing in there. They're going to throw everything in on towards Celeber. There the Chomper's down, but look at the damage that Nif is taking here. Can they follow up and finish off the kill? It certainly looks like it. Jankos actually wants to leave it there for Celeber, and they get one for nothing.
Very nice play by Roccat once again. Jankos, he knows exactly where to be on the right times. I'm very impressed by his play. And also, Silver playing the perfect bait.
Really, really well done. And actually that leaves Tabs pretty much alone on this bottom tower. He does have Shook just at the back of him doing the golems right now. And as such, Roccat not going to be pushing any further through. We can see that Shook was just waiting there in the brush in case he was called in to rescue Tabs underneath that tower. Meanwhile, back into this top lane, you see that Wicked having the wave pushed down onto him once again. He holds that 1-level lead and the massive minion lead that he had from earlier.
And he will keep this lead because Alliance don't have to teamfight with him. They can just keep him right now, split pushing and having Froggen wave clear all the time. So Wicked right now, he can just build straight for 1v1.
Well, he saw what Darian did maybe in that last game and said, you know what guys, let's pick Shyvana, I can do that. And so far, he's doing a great job of this Shyvana in the top lane. There's no doubt about that one. The towers obviously were tied at 2 for 2. The bottom lane and the top lane for either side is still open on that front. Both mid laners also have that Athene's Unholy Grail. The blasting one actually picked up now for Froggen. He's 20 CS lead over Overpower.
About a minute and Dragon is back up. I expect to see a similar fight Obviously not with Tab standing in the middle of everything, but there should be a fight. We have TP ready now on Xaxus, and Wicked is already moving down.
There's a Dark Binding on towards Sniff. Not doing the world of damage to him at this point, no. And probably won't be doing that much damage over by the end of the game, even depending on how we see Vander building into things. But this could be interesting. Jankos headed down to the bottom. It's a 3-on-2 again.
There's a ward though in the next bush, so he can't really move any further. And that's also why Alliance feels rather safe at this point. They will spot him right now. They know exactly where he is, and they're not going to go for anything.
Got a turret behind him as well to fall back on, and still have to be really, really careful as to who's going to be tanking all that damage should they do decide to actually go through onto the tower.
Jankos has been very patient this game, just waiting around in some bushes. He wants to make plays. Shug is coming now though. This can be a potential. Oh, he shows himself 100% now. They know now that they've seen him.
Yeah, there was always that possibility, of course, to bait him out into that one. Dark Binding landing onto Nif, but they don't follow through here, Roccat. I think expecting that Shuk is going to be waiting over there. Actually, they've seen him because of that ward inside of the tri-bush.
They spot him in from the ward here. Wisely enough, didn't go in for anything. They do start the dragon really fast, though.
This could be dangerous, though, although Mundo does have teleport back off of cooldown, so Wicked will have to try and deal with him somehow. And we can see there, Dragon down to less than half HP. Here comes the bomb in, but it's going to be too late. It's picked up already by Roccat. Nicely picked up there from Jankos, and Xaxus is in the back. Flash away from the briefcase, and that leaves poor old Nif here once again all alone. No flash for him. He should be getting finished off. And there's the barrel. They throw Tabs back. He almost even landed onto the Caitlyn trap in there as well. They do lock him up. He's going to go down. Xaxus picks up that kill. Brilliant from Roccat again.
Absolutely amazing max range binding from Vander, picking up the kill on Tabs. Wicked can get the top tower though, and he can keep pushing it down, but Roccat picks up Dragon, bot tower, and 2 kills, so they win out on this.
Big trade there. 2,000 gold lead develops off of that, and Celever and Vander, you're pushing this bottom lane out as quickly as they possibly can. Let's take another look at that one, starting with that Xaxus teleport.
Perfect teleport coming in from Xaxus. He's been so good at this in all the games where they play teleport. But notice now, overpower on top, knocking Tabs back, and the max range binding hitting in from Vander, and they can pick up another kill on Tabs and the tower. Really impressive play. The barrel, as I mentioned, almost knocked him onto that Caitlyn trap. That would have been impressive if they'd have pulled that. Not sure he would have. Obviously, afterwards, he would have said, yeah, I meant to do that completely. Wasn't a bit so sure about that. Would it look better than the Pantheon and Malphite combo, or which one would you prefer?
I think barreling someone onto a Caitlyn trap is pretty impressive. You don't get to see that every day. Blue Buff has respawned here on Alliance's side of the map. They lost it last time around. Jankos actually was forced to smite that one. This time won't be the same. In fact, it's given over to Celever on Caitlyn. And right now we're starting to see some of the issues we have seen before for Alliance, and what Roccat is really good at. They focus so much on getting the dragons, getting blue buffs and red buffs, and always try to, force a few fights wherever they can. Right now, Alliance is simply not reacting to it, and they're moving too slow, so Roccat can pick up whatever they like. Let's have a look down some of the items once again. Top lane, up until now, fairly standard. Some Fire Cape in there. Spirit Visage is going to be coming down as well for Xaxus. On the other side, that Blade of the Ruin King done earlier on for Wicked, and he's going to that Spirit Visage as well.
It will be interesting to see if Overpower decides to go down bot lane and push that one, just stay there and try and push all the time and force some fights, or they actually want to move him mid lane, stand four people mid and start sieging down turrets. Sadly for them though, 6 is there.
Eddie Carr as well going pretty much the same route. In fact, their items look almost identical right now, except for the fact that Celever, who sat at 3-0-2, has finished off that static shiv, which Tabs is also working his way slower towards.
Now, right now for Roccat, the question is, what do you actually do? Do you want to be the one who pressures the map and risk an engage on you from Alliance, or do you wait for Alliance to make a move? Alliance won't actually do anything before Wicked has pushed up the wave and, will try and force more people to come up after him.
See there, Vander actually spotting a pink ward that was put down earlier on. And they're quite happy to let Celever keep farming these mid waves and pushing those turrets right back. In the same token, though, Froggen is doing the same. He's up to 230 CS now almost. And, well, we know how good Froggen is at farming. Most farm in the game, not really a surprise to us there.
No, nothing new there. A bit new though from Rocket's playstyle this game. They've been playing a lot more safe. They haven't gone for any, really risky dives or risky moves. They just played it very carefully and very smart. Every time there was something they could go in and take uncontested, they did.
Spirit Visage is now finished off for Mundo as well, and Xaxus, he's become, that position where he was a little bit squishy for a Mundo at least, and to the point where once his ultimate's running, the chances of killing him are very low. You need to completely lock him down and throw everything you've got at him, and that's going to surely make Roccat feel more comfortable in case a fight goes now.
Definitely, and I have to point out how much I think it's a mistake from Alliance that while the TP is down, they don't force anything. This is where they can actually, punish Roccat for losing the 1v1 top lane, because they can go up mid and Xaxus cannot TP down and he will lose him.
That TP going to be coming up in just a second. Just to touch on that top lane once again, Wicked still holds a 65 CS lead. But not really pushing things past the halfway point, as you said before. We'll see if he changes that this time around. Might signal a bit of change of pace here from Alliance if he does do that.
They are in a good position now to push. Never mind, Taps is actually recalling down bot lane. I think we have to wait for the next dragon again for the next fight to come.
Yeah, 1 minute until that one actually comes in. In the meantime, the jungle's being cleared out on both sides of things. We've got a lot of wards down in both sides of the river as well. We see the sweeping lens has been used to clear out what was in the mid lane there. And it's basically pull and push the waves at this point.
Just casually pushing up. Both teams are waiting for the dragon to spawn. We have the talisman completed on Vander right now, so if he lands a binding and activates that one, the whole team can rush in and instantly burst down the target he lands the binding on.
There's a pink ward by Dragon just cleared out, and you can see that both teams starting to get ready for this one. Gonna be a bit of a worry if Wicked doesn't react to this one quick enough and then can't stop Xaxus actually coming down and it gets into a 5v4.
He's moving down now though, in time. He will be here for when the dragon actually spawns, and we're gonna see a 5v5 fight.
Well, it's Alliance that move initially here into the front of that pit, and looks like they're trying to cut Wicked off there on his quest to come down this bottom lane, and that would certainly be a big win for them, although he's not going to be shy of diving straight into the middle of the team, even if they do decide to hold him back. There was Nif getting hit by the Dark Binding, and well, Roccat kind of half in, half out, just waiting really to make their move.
Both teams have full vision of this area. There's no pink wards on either of the sides. So Roccat can just delay this and wait for Xaxus to push it out, start actually hitting the turret, and just delay Alliance from going on. Jankos may be caught though.
Well, that was probably the most perfect bait you're ever going to see for a barrel to come flying in. The Dark Bindings go as well. Xaxus continues to push, and Alliance have got bored of it. They're actually going in for this one, but it's stolen away. Jankos gets it. He kicks Nif out of it. He is going to die from this one, but what will happen to the rest of the Roccat team? Mundo is there, and Alliance are caught horribly out of position. Celiver going to be engaged upon by Shook, but here comes the ulti out of Vander. That's going to take down Shook. Actually, it's Celiver that gets that one just as he goes down, but now it's Wicked and Tabs versus 3, and Nif even flashing over the wall here. So, bit out of position from both sides. Who's got the damage, and are they going to keep chasing?
I think Overpower can catch out Nif right here. Big mistake by Nif moving this way. He's moving away from his team, and he's actually going to be punished and die from this. Xaxus teleport, though, came in too late. That was why Roccat couldn't really fight for it. They did manage to steal the dragon, though, so another win for them. And
coming out on top with the kills. It's going well for them at this point. Not the cleanest of things, but still, that's always a win. And 5-1-2 now on Celiver on Caitlyn as well. He's dangerous.
Such a messy fight though. Celiver was fighting Froggen in the back of everything 1v1, while all the tanks were trying to kill each other in the front. Very messy fight. All in all though, if Xaxus had TP'd down a little bit early, it could have looked different.
Now, let's have a look at that fight once again, and Jankos using the Q to get into Dragon and out smiting Shook.
And notice Froggen and Celiver down here in the back fighting each other. Celiver wins this one, and that means he forces Alliance to make the next move. Wicked comes in though, has his ultimate, he's very huge. Had he landed his ultimate, Celiver would probably have died instantly. Instead though, they can't really kill each other until Nif makes his mistake and doesn't stay with his team. Always stay with your team, guys.
Now, Tabs actually took a barrel there, which is why he backed away, and Nif, well, he's separated, and a long chase down from Overpower here. Was able to finally get it with a swift slap of the belly.
Slap of the belly?
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good.
It's painful, let me tell you.
I'm actually, again, Overpower is playing this really well on the Gragas, but you highlighted himself, 5-1, Silver is looking very scary, and the later we get into the game, the stronger Caitlyn will be.
And we can see that Last Whisper is already done for him. He's got a Negatron cloak in there as well. Now, going to have a bit of protection from basically what Froggen's throwing his way at this stage of it, and obviously Wicked doing a bit of magic damage in there as well. But again, the game slows down as they figure out exactly where they're going to go. The wards get put into position and the lanes get pushed out.
But Roccat right now they're just very happy about going to this late game. They believe they have the strongest combo and they trust in their team fights late game to be able to beat Alliance. On the other hand, Alliance doesn't really know what to do at this point.
What do they do? I mean, we've got obviously a better view on the game and where it stands in terms of gold and everything. What do they need to do at this point?
Well, we touched on it a bit earlier. I don't want to keep going back to it again and again. But Wicked right here is the strongest guy on the team. Roccat has to send 2 people to actually kill him up top lane. So if they just keep him top and try and pressure him, Taps is actually moving in now. So they're doing it, the 1-4. And this is what they need to do.
1-4 in position from Alliance. The wards actually put down. Actually, they thought they may be able to catch someone out. And we're going to see Assault and Battery. Everything thrown there at Jankos. He finally starts to fall low, but he's able to walk away. And actually, we saw Celeber there even being able to do some damage. Finally, they forced Sazas a little bit further back from the jungle. They're going to try and take this inner turret on the top lane.
But this is what we need Alliance to do. Notice how Overpower had to recall from the bot lane because they engaged on Jankos. They forced Roccat now to be on the defensive. Next time Vi has her ultimate up, they can do the same thing. Maybe not on Jankos. If they can catch a Silver or a Vander, it would be absolutely perfect for them.
Now back away, and Roccat here moving in towards the Baron. Actually, Vander was pretty much alone for a while there as he walked in from the bottom side, got that pink ward down, but getting vision up in Alliance's jungle, and that's going to be a worry for Alliance. It means that they have to be very careful about this Baron.
The bot lane is pushing right now for Roccat. That's why they want to try and set up this Baron and force Alliance to be up there. If they send one bot lane, they can engage on Alliance, and there are only 4 people from Alliance trying to defend the Nashor. So smart move by Roccat. They know they have the pushing power right now.
And there is the Dragon used up by Wicked. Meanwhile, Roccat have started Baron, but Alliance are not going to let this one go for free.
This is good by Alliance. The wave bot is pushing so slowly, there's no reason for them to send one down. If they can manage to get a fight in here in the Dragon Pit, they might be able to win it.
Oh, so dangerous. Satchel charge goes down, and actually we see Roccat coming off there. They've managed to hit Shook with a binding. Are they going to go for a fully blown fight? Zaz is actually continuing to tank up Baron Nashor there.
Right now, Alliance can actually just go for the mid lane if they don't want to start a fight here and force Roccat to react. If they go straight to the mid now and push out, they might be able to take the mid tower for free.
Baron actually didn't reset there. That's why they wanted to just keep that one going. They're trying to get back in position there. Is the ace in the hole going to go flying through? Wicked catches that, and it doesn't do much damage. But the barrel will, and Vander goes in there. He's got his ulti run in, but he's just walking out of range before he goes off there on towards Wicked. And while that's a lot of damage, it's no kills in the end.
And the Locket actually saves Vander. Oh, never mind. Boom, you are dead.
Bomb coming from the backside, and Alliance are like, well, we can probably push now. Wicked actually taking a lot of damage from this, and Zazas trying to tank up here on the front line. Getting the slows off, but there's 4 of them against, well, 3, because Lee Sin's just off to the side. We do see Shook coming back in now.
The engage wasn't bad for Roccat, but Vander didn't hit anyone else but himself with his talisman, so nobody could follow in with him. Sasus was way too far back, so he wasn't even in the front line, or landing cleavers, or trying to chase.
No, he's also building up to a Randuin's now to add into the Spirit Visage and that Sunfire Cape from earlier. On the other side, Randuin's is finished for Wicked, so he's just going to go back to the old plan, which is push out this top lane and be an annoyance this entire time. Meanwhile, Roccat are going to be picking up the Dragon.
And this is exactly what Wicked needs to do. Vander is the only one up there to try and defend. He can't do anything to Wicked. He can actually go in and get a few hits on this turret, and later on maybe pick it up for himself.
Yes, a bit of a response possibly here coming in. We have Vander up in the top lane. A couple of them started to come down through the jungle. Wicked actually going in on towards Jankos. They want to have this red buff away. The Q actually landing there, which is going to give him complete vision of it as Shook takes it around the back, and it's going to be a bit of battle of will. Shook that smites that one out. Nice little steal for Alliance.
It's a very slow-paced game we have right now. not much is actually happening, and we're just waiting for Alliance to pick up a target with the Vi ultimate and try and burst it down and then see what happens. The Dragon is gone, we won't see any fight there, and I don't expect to see too much Nashor fighting in the next few minutes.
Well, let's see. Xazas is going to go into the bottom lane now, and there's a lot of minions there for him, but he's still a mass behind Wicked. Look at that, 275 to probably 225 by the time he's done in that bottom lane. Alliance starting to push a little bit up the middle. Celiva there, we can see, got that Guardian Angel now.
The Celiva is very strong at this point. If they manage to get a team fight from Rocket's side where they can stop the Vi engage without anyone dying, and then Celiva can just stand in the back and shoot away, they might actually be in a great advantage and might be able to win it. And this is what Rocket is waiting for. They want the Alliance to engage on them. Yeah,
Celiva, I think, playing bait there as he pushes quite far up. They know that Alliance are in there. Briefcase from Xazas comes flying through. Celiva will even dare to put down a trap. They catch Wicked. They'll throw as much damage as they can onto him. Take every opportunity here for free damage in the lead up to a fight, and Alliance have to back away.
And if they can catch them right here on the run, it's actually great for Rocket. Right now, they're just zoning them away from the turret, and they can actually get a lot of hits on it.
Yeah, Shook actually just coming over there with the Vault Breaker, but that might be too late, and we can see the barrel just being used, saying, you can come to us, but you're going to take damage doing so. Inner turret going down there, and there is the Talisman. They're going to go for the fight. Wicked tries to hold it back, but he's going to take a lot of damage in the process. There's a bomb from Ziggs to the back. Wicked actually survived, and it's now Shook at the back doing work for them. Xazas trying to keep them away from Celiva to peel those attacks off of him. His Guardian Angel was popped. He's coming back into the fight. And it's just, again, a big, messy brawl. 2 men down on Alliance's side just to support down for Roccat, the headed Baron.
It was so hard for Alliance actually to come into this fight because they were caught next to the tower in their own jungle. Wicked decided to go in for it, though. He did the right engage, but Roccat was team fighting absolutely perfect.
Oh, Froggen actually walking past Overpower. Celiva actually going to set about it. Oh. There's the barrels rolling in. Tabs tries to turn that one around, but once that barrel's off cooldown, he might be able to just throw one in there. There's not long left on his ultimate either, and there is Baron picked up by Roccat.
Overpower doing his zoning control right here. He's taking away both Froggen. Oh! That was beautiful. Overpower doing work. He went in behind Tabs, and then he did a lot of damage to him, and Tabs had to go back, and Froggen was alone and also had to retreat, and it was a free Nashor for Roccat. Once again, they're showing some great teamwork.
It's going to be a tough time now as well for Alliance. 40-second, 45-second spawn timers, and Xazas is able to tank up turrets here.
And Wicked is way out of position.
He's actually not losing any health there, I think, because of his regen coming in for that. So he's not scared whatsoever. Next minion wave comes down. They've got Celiva already hammering away. That's going to be the first inhib turret of the game here. Going for Roccat. Where are they going to go next here? Are they going to keep pushing this one through?
No, Roccat has to back out right now. Wicked comes down. If he had actually stayed with his team, they could have tried to at least defend this inhib. Instead, he went up to the top lane, tried to farm. I'm not too sure why. But Roccat has all the advantages now because Wicked will not be able to split push anymore, as the mid lane will constantly push down, so Roccat can send multiple people to the side lanes and therefore stop Wicked.
Well, he is pushing out this bottom lane as far as he possibly can, and the top lane was pushed back here by Roccat, but it looks like they're actually going to go home and spend up the cash that they've earned. And there's like 2,000 on Mundo, 1,700 Lee Sin, 1,400 there on Morgana as well. And, well, those purchases are going to start to hurt when they actually come back in lane. Overpower picking himself up that Zhonya's Hourglass now. We also have the random Omen finished for Xazas' Mundo.
And this Morgana support pick means Celiva is in no danger to get engaged on. No matter what's going to go into his face, he's going to get black shielded, and he's just going to be able to power away and shoot from the start of the fight. This means once he finishes his Infinity Edge, he's going to be very scary, and I actually don't know how Alliance is going to win the fight.
Well, I hope for their sake that they've got a plan for this one. They're 3 games without a win up until now. 0-3 sat at the bottom of the table. This, if it is a loss, we'll turn that into 0-4. The opposite of what a lot of people are expecting Alliance to do, funnily enough, here in the first week. We can see that Roccat now moving down to the inner turret in the bot lane. Celiva's hammering it.
Look at the damage he's doing to that turret. He takes it down in like 6 seconds. This signals very bad things for Alliance. But to be honest, it's their own fault. They had the chance to do something early mid-game, but they didn't. They didn't use Wicked and his huge advantage to anything.
Well, they have that wave clear of Wicked now, but as you said, because Celevar hits that hard, if Mundo just goes in there and tanks up 3 or 4 hits, then the turret's pretty much down anyway. They only have to do that a couple of times, and they've already broken through once again. Mundo is, at the moment, though, in the top lane pushing. That one, Xaxus might have that one away with this wave of minions.
And this is what Alliance can do something about. If they engage on Roccat while Mundo is still pushing, there's going to be some time before he even comes down there with his teleport, and they can maybe pick up a few kills and win the fight.
Well, he's got rid of the inner turret, and Roccat, you can see there, Celevar just going to tank up, do a couple of attacks here and there, and will continue to do so. And the fact that he's got his traps in there as well actually make him feel pretty safe, but it's a false safety. They nuke him down. Froggen picks up that kill. Wicked actually going to be knocked back from this one. Mundo, in the meantime, is still pushing, and he's actually going to take that in turret here, I think.
Celevar was too far away from Vander. He didn't get the black shield, so he instantly died. Nice play by Alliance. We just touched on it. They just have to engage.
And they do have the power to take out Celevar. And Celevar will be happy that that happened then. Not happy because he died anyway, but that it happened then, and not while the Guardian Angel had come up, which it's going to do very shortly here.
He has Guardian Angel for the next fight. Here's what Alliance can do. It is not optimal, but it might be the only choice. If Nif throws down his ultimate on Celevar, forces the black shield from Vander, once the black shield is off, then Vi can go in and they can try and get the engage they need and burst him down. Yes, they have to kill him twice, but he's the man they need to kill.
Yeah, they have to kill him in this one now. He's so very strong.
We even see Morgana right now actually picking up the Stark's favor. Is it still called that? Yeah, no, Zeke's Herald. Zeke's Herald, it's a long time ago. My bad.
Have you ever built that item as a support?
No, I haven't. That's why I don't know the name on it, actually. But this, again, this is all about Celevar in these team fights. Overpower will use his ultimate to knock people away from Celevar. And all Celevar has to do is just auto-attack, 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 and stay alive. Alliance, all they have to do, easy enough as it sounds, is just try and kill him.
Try and blow him to pieces, which they did manage to do in that last one. Although Celevar might be questioning his positioning anyway from that little action. We actually have Baron coming up in less than 2 minutes. As Xaxus going to take a lot of damage here and actually gets flung back. Wicked going to throw his ulti. This might be a little bit too much thrown at Xaxus, but he dies. That's the big tank going down, and now they're going in on towards Overpower. This is brilliant for Alliance. He's had to use his Zhonya's, but the chompers are there. He's not getting out. That's shut down. Look at the spawn time. There's a minute now for Mundo and a minute for Gragas to come in. This could be real dangerous.
They can try and finish. Giant mistake by Roccat being caught out of position. The only thing they had to do was just group up and then team fight as 5. But instead now Alliance can actually try and finish this game.
Oh my god, the inhibitor tower is already down. The inhibit itself is going to fall. What are Alliance going to do? They back away. There's a minute till Baron. There's 40 seconds until Gragas comes in. That might be enough time to secure it for them.
Alright, Alliance is happy getting the inhib. This is gonna, buy them a little time, but the issue is still the same. They didn't manage to kill Celevar here, so his Guardian Angel is not popped. He still has it, and Roccat can do now the right thing, group up, go for this Baron, and if Alliance wants to contest it, they can take the 5v5 fight, and that's what they want.
Well, it just shows you that the Mundo is definitely not invincible still. Got a Warmogs now, as has Shyvana for Wicked, so ridiculously tanky, those two, but still killable. That's the important thing. And we see here how they did it. They threw a lot at him, but why not? He's the beefy one.
He's the beefy one. It was a great engage from Froggen starting the whole fight. And then the ultimate from Nif lands on Overpower, gets the slow on him, and he's dead from there. Notice the position on the rest of Roccat. They are miles away. And all in all, just a big mistake by Roccat, but also great to see Alliance playing aggressive and engaging.
Well, it means that they're not giving up on this game, that they've not lost the hope, as a lot of teams probably would at this point. 0-3 in the season so far and falling behind quite heavily in this game, but they are still in it. They're still fighting for that first win of the season. There's Wicked clearing out another ward at the back of the Baron pit. Baron is alive. Maybe not for long, though. Alliance have started it off.
We are definitely going to see a fight here. Xaxus TPing in right now.
Going so low, that Baron already. We can see that Alliance actually pulling away from it somewhat. They do not want to risk that being stolen from them and giving it up for free.
Smart move by Alliance. They start the Baron so Sasus TP's up. Now he's here. He's not going to return to the bot lane because he has no teleport, and it's just a straight 5v5.
Are they going to take a fight, though? Has probably licking his wounds a little bit from last time. Now not feeling so invincible as he was before.
And Roccat has the great position. They can actually just give up this Baron and go straight down to the mid lane, pick up inhib, and then look at the wave coming down bot. They can use this wave to push another tower. Now Alliance is actually forced to back out. Good move by Roccat.
Yeah, Alliance forcing the teleport in, but Roccat saying, okay, that was a good move. We'll give you that one, but watch this. We're going to push straight down your mid lane. You better recall more fighters maybe from the side, as you do see Alliance now finally getting back onto their base steps, but that gives Roccat now the positioning to go back towards Baron, or as you said, with that big wave down bottom.
They have a huge wave bot, but if they move there now, they need to be very fast at pushing it in, otherwise Alliance will go for the Baron and just send Froggen down to clear the whole wave and stop Roccat from doing anything. But this just basically resets everything, and we're going to have pretty much the same now. Roccat might even want to wait the whole teleport cooldown on Mundo out before they actually want to try to do anything.
Well, such a tense one, eh? It got to the point where, you know, Roccat are doing so much damage, Celiver's able to hammer the towers down. It looked like it might be just a matter of time before Roccat pushed this one forward, but Alliance showing us with his last couple of fights that they can get rid of that AD carry and that they can get rid of the tanks as well in middle, destroying an inhibitor of their own. Still really anyone's game, and anyone's game to throw as well. That's why it's so tense here, that a simple, tiny mistake could lose you the game.
But we're into the part of the game right now as well, where if you win the team fight, you can go down and finish. You can win the game. And both teams notice this is why they're playing so careful. Nobody wants to make the mistake.
Oh. That's Ziggs and Gragas here. Barrels and the bombs rolling through. AD carries losing all the health to that one, but luckily for them both, they've got Bloodthirsters in there and can heal that all straight back up. There's a blue buff just been picked up there for Gragas. There's one for Frog and Ziggs as well on the top side of his jungle. If they dare even go up anywhere near that, they've only got a couple. In fact, I tell a lie, they've actually got decent warding down on the ramp on their side of the map by the pit itself and at the start of the jungle, but it is going to be Roccat that actually kicked this one off there, and we do see that blue buff in the end going over to Celiver on Caitlyn.
The inhib respawned now. They took the blue buff from Alliance. Oh, engage coming in.
Oh, they're going in towards Shook, but there's a flash from Celiver. That's what makes this one now so dangerous. Celiver has survived the burst, and he's going to go in there. There is a satchel charge to try and get them away, but Nif is falling low. He's at half HP. The barrel will split the team up even further, and Jankos is chasing. He's lining the queue. There's he is in the hole. Doesn't get the kill for them, though. But Overpower has finished off the AD carry. Dark Binding dodge by Wicked. Roccat could win the game right here. Froggen surely needs to survive to have any hope of them keeping going in this one. We can see that he's trying to dodge it. Jumps up in the air. Manages Sazonia's, and Wicked comes to his aid. What is happening in this one? Nif even went in there in the end. In the meantime, though, Roccat were behind them. Celiver was having to go there.
Shook is there.
Now his Shook is there, but there's the kill onto Froggen that they were looking for.
They cannot kill
Celiver. Get any more? Nif is going low. Celiver is still at the back, and he still has Guardian Angel. They try to attack there in towards Shook. The tower doing good damage to them, but Shook is going to fall. Overpower survived because of that Zhonya's, and now it's all on Wicked and
Just
Nif.
go finish.
There is. Why aren't they finishing? I don't get that. Chasing Wicked. He's low. He's going to have to recall, heal, and try and come back into this one, but Roccat surely can do it.
Roccat will win this game. Amazing. Celiver survives the engage, and then Jankos makes the beautiful play on taps.
Yeah, those Nexus turrets not lasting long. Nif, the last man left alive here for Alliance, is not enough to secure and save the game for them. It's Roccat that go 3 for 1 and take down the Alliance again.